In this lesson, you're going to learn how to find, navigate through, and organize your Colab notebooks. So you want to use a private Gmail account. And if you've been doing that so far, if you go to your Google Drive, you should see this Colab Notebooks folder created for you. So go ahead and click inside, and there you will see the Colab notebooks that you've created. Additionally, you can certainly organize them by subfolders as I have. Another way to find notebooks is simply to go to colab.research.google.com, and you will see a list of the most recent notebooks, top to bottom. You can also search for them here, which is a key reason why it's important to name them in a manner so that you can reference them later. Go ahead and open up the basic math notebook that you created earlier. Okay, we're going to look at some different components of Colab. Perhaps the most important one is this share up on the upper right. So if you click on the share notebook, yours may say restricted down here. Okay, and the only way that you can turn in this notebook for class or to share it with somebody else is to change this restricted, and I would recommend just changing it to anyone with the link. Okay, code does not need to be private, most code is public, and then you can copy the link and share it accordingly. Additionally, you see some other kind of interesting options up here. The file menu is a place where you can open notebooks. You can save a copy in Drive, which is really important if you are going to be opening somebody else's notebook, because that is going to actually make your own copy for you. Otherwise, it won't save. Okay. Additionally, you see in here save. You don't actually need to save Colab notebooks. They automatically save for you. We also have edit. There's some interesting options in edit. One of them is to clear out outputs, which is kind of cool. So if you look away, you can see we've got outputs showing here, and you can actually clear those outputs as such. Complementary to that, which is something probably I use the most, is runtime, restart session, and run all. This is going to be useful because later when code gets more complicated, things might not work, you might change things, and your code always needs to run top to bottom. So go ahead and click on that restart session and run all. I've always clicked yes here. I'm never concerned about losing something because the code's all there. And you can see on the left side, it takes away the coding cells that have been run and actually runs them. And when you see these numbers on the left, like that 2 means that is the second coding cell that has been run. Now, if you go all the way to the bottom, you can see there's been like 13 coding cells run here. And if you like come up here and let's say I want to run this one again, now if you look on the left, well, that's the 14th coding cell that has been run. Okay, so that's a nice one, the runtime, restart session, and run all. Another key one is manage sessions. So go ahead and click on that. And you can see there's got a current session. You only get 3. This happens to me a lot. It says too many sessions open. So I can close an old one that I'm no longer using. And it doesn't delete it. It just closes it so you're not actually using it. Okay. There's a lot that here are settings. There's really a lot to navigate through with Colab. One thing I really want you to do is click on the AI assistance. I want you to hide the generative AI features because when we're coding together, you're learning the traditional way from a teacher, not from the AI suggestions, which could be helpful at the right time. Okay, next, let's look at how to actually organize this notebook. So you see these text headers. Let's go ahead and enter a text cell. So just click on that plus, and now you can move it around with these arrows. So let's actually move it to the top. And what we're going to do is click in there, and then we're going to enter a hashtag, which is the way to get a title. We're going to title this one Basic Math, maybe even Basic Math Operations, which is what's under it, okay? And what you'll see is sort of what the output looks like underneath and what you're writing above. The hashtag makes it capitalized, not capitalized, but larger. And if you press Shift-Enter, it also gives you this underneath arrow, which you can move up and down. So this is really nice because following basic math operations, we looked at number types. And so I can add another text cell here. Okay, go ahead and do this so you can get the practice. Add in a hashtag, and I'll just say number types. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm organizing my notebook into subsections. Okay, we'll press Shift Enter. We also looked at spacing. Okay, so I think that could be an interesting one. Go ahead, maybe put it here, horizontal spacing. And then finally at the very end, we had, say, the order of operations. And so I'll come right here, coming above it, press new text cell and type in order of operations. Now I can tell you that I only do this if the notebook is something I'm going to sort of like publish or share with others. You know, it can be nice though to have your code organized. The advantage of doing this is now you can click on these arrows and look at this. You have a nice organized notebook and you can go to the different part of the notebook that you're in fact interested in. Additionally, if you say pick one of these like order of operations, you could add another text cell underneath and say something like, you know, Python follows the order of operations in math, which is a true statement. And so basically I'm just sort of like adding context, adding more information. And these text cells are used a lot in Colab. It sort of just makes everything much more readable. Okay, so that's a little bit on how to find your notebooks, how to organize your notebooks using text cells. And it's something I will also say that you'll get more accustomed to and better at the more that you use Colab.